Okay, today is February 15th. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
The truth or pleasantries?
Truth, I guess.
Well, the truth is my life is horrible because, law enforcement, my rights are being constantly violated. I'm constantly being sent to dead-end things that are naturally planned that way. And now that I'm following up, I'm still hoping to get what is legally mine, that I've had months and years of being constantly denied because, like I said, things aren't the way they're supposed to be. All right, so, hi, officer.
Hello.
Fatu. I'm back. You told me to come back if I had any problems. I have on me the videos that I took going down to the tax office at City Hall. Hello, sir. I don't know what your name is or whom you might be.
Officer Mike Walsh.
Thank you, sir. And,
What did you find out?
I found out that, for example, when I went to the tax place, they couldn't tell me, and he told me that I was in a public building at City Hall, but, that I couldn't take videos. And he went to the sheriff's person and reported me. It's on video, which I have on my keychain on a zip drive. And then I went to 25 Van Ness to ask for a copy of the building policy that it prevented me, that your officer Hanley had said was, the reason I couldn't videotape, even though when I asked him what the law was, he said I wasn't breaking the law. And I said, well, then aren't you here on civil standby for me? And of course, that was never answered. Once again, proving that the whole methodology is rigged to fail. So here's the zip drive. So those are the two places I went to. And, the person at 25, the security, couldn't give me the building policy that excluded my legal rights and officers' handling of me, Hanley's handling of me the day that, I asked for civil standby.
Since 25 Van Ness is a city building,
Yes.
why did you write a letter?
No, madam. I would like to have my rights enforced, hopefully today or this next week. This has been going on for 6 months. No, madam. I don't feel like being put off by more dead-end procedures that don't work. I've already drank your cup of poison that didn't work. No, madam. I would like for my rights as a person, and a person who, has rights, and, I'm correct, for them to be enforced. I'd like my civil standby at these places. I'd like to videotape so that when I do make complaints like I did here, the entire process can be shown for what it is. If it works, there's not a problem. The only reason I'm back is because nothing works and nobody's accountable. And so now I choose to make you guys accountable because, like I said, if you can't enforce my legal rights, who can?
Did you speak to counsel?
No, madam. I don't need to speak to counsel. I'm here to have my legal rights enforced by the police department. Is that not your duty to serve and protect?
Yes, it is. What would you like us to do today, sir?
Well, I'd like for you to explain, the rig methodology to start off with, and I'd also like to find out about other locations that I'm going to be going to and videotaping so that, if it's going to be a problem, I can come back to you. I'd like accountability. That's what I would like today.
I understand that.
Okay? So what is it that you're offering?
What is it that you need, sir?
I told you, accountability,
Accountability with what?
with things not working the way they're supposed to in law enforcement and my rights being violated.
Primary care. You need
Primary care, right. The reason I've been thrown out, and not helped, he was with me on 8/15 when I took one of your officers for civil standby. And the Department of Public Health came down with a bogus restraining order to deny me my rights. It's on video. Then I went to the sheriff. You are correct.
If they have a restraining order, that's issued by a judge, and that's superseded.
But I just told you the restraining order was bogus.
We went down to the office where they issue restraining order, and they said, "There's nothing here, Mr. Grant."
Well, I can't comment on that. I'm saying
Well, naturally, but you could tell us that it had to be signed by a judge, so that was a comment. Go ahead.
I said if there was a legal document signed, and it was legal,
Right.
a document by a judge, a restraining order, and it was legal, then that does supersede everything. I can't say whether it was legal or not legal. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Okay, well, we have on video where the sheriff said that it wasn't a restraining order. I've also sunshined the Department of Public Health. They said there wasn't such a thing.
You went to 400 McAllister?
Yes, I've already shown all that paperwork. I've already filed with you guys that particular, incident report, which I still haven't gotten the police report back from. It was on 8/15. I've already filed all that paperwork. Naturally, I haven't gotten the follow-up risk management police report back and the constant denial because I was denied my civil rights seeking civil standby because I turned to your officer and I said quite clearly, what if this is bogus? Are you going to arrest the Department of Public Health? Now, I went to the sheriff who's in charge of that building. The sheriff, and I have it on video, explained to me that their hands were tied, that they couldn't verify the validity of a stay-away order. How rigged is that? I said, well, that's nice, Mr. Sheriff. What should I do now? He said, well, go back to the Department of Public Health. And I said, well, what if they do it again? Then what? Well, I can tell you, I went back to the Department of Public Health after doing what the sheriff told me, like following your orders. And once again, I was denied entrance, videotaping, and the sheriff's people came down and they said I had a restraining order against me. So the second time they broke the law.
Sir, did they show you a copy of that restraining order?
I asked for it, they didn't. The sheriff's people escorted me out before I got it.
It was written in black and white with a
On the
felt
first
pen.
incident,
The felt
815
pen-
was.
The felt pen said, "Stay away, dated so and so."
And your officer said,
Sometimes that's how they may do it. Sir, I would go to 400 McAllister where all those records are kept, and I would give them your name and ask.
we've already done that.
And what do they give you?
A piece of paper that said there was no restraining order.
You have that piece of paper.
You have that
Yes,
piece
oh,
of
and I gave it to you guys along with the incident report that I filed regarding this, so you should have it for a police. No, I didn't bring it with me.
You'll need to have that documentation. If there is not one, then there should be a police report stating the same.
Okay, so if there is not one, then what? Will you arrest the Department of Public Health for violating my civil rights,
No,
for
sir.
creating a bogus, criminally fraudulent piece of paper that your officer relied upon?
Excuse me, sir. Do you want me to answer?
Yes, please.
If it is bogus, then I would suggest, and you feel that you were violated, I suggest that you seek some kind of legal counsel with all the documentation that you have to show that there was not a valid restraining order, there was no restraining order, and that you believed that you were not being.
Okay, and then when that fails because legal counsel requires
Sir,
money,
No,
then
not
what?
necessarily. I'm sure that there's legal.
Not
means.
necessarily. Would you like to see my paperwork on the civil Gideon? Because I was sent there by David Chu's office regarding this incident, and they sent me to the San Francisco Bar Association who told me there wasn't anybody who could help me. Would you like to see that paperwork? I'd love to pop your illusion. I have it.
So there's no legal counsel.
Correct. Per the San Francisco Bar Association, which I was sent to by David Chu's office for civil Gideon. Correct, madam. So your illusion is a total misrepresentation. It does not exist. I've already drank that cup of poison and have that paperwork.
Why don't you go to the public defender's office and see if there's somebody there that can guide you?
And then when they can't come back to you,
Go ahead and come back to me.
wonderful. I'm going to
Sir,
continue to
excuse
prove
me.
that it's set to fail.
I understand that. I'm giving you some other suggestions, sir. That's all that I can do at this
Okay,
point.
and then after all those fail, can you enforce my rights and arrest the people who have broken the law criminally fraudulently? Because when I went to the DA, and I have that on video, I was told by the person at the DA's office that they didn't care about my legal rights.
Well, sir, this is what I'm suggesting. What I just suggested that you do, go down to the public defender's office, get paperwork from 400 McAllister saying that there was not one, go to 850 Bryant to the 4th floor and get a copy of the police report,
Done all that.
have it all together when you go to the public defender's office, show them all your paperwork, ask them if they can help you or do they know who could help you pro bono in order to fight this case.
And then when they say
It's up
no,
to them, excuse me, sir, it's up to them then to present it if you were violated and you believe that somebody broke the law, then it would be up to them to bring it to the to the prosecutor's office or to the U.S. Attorney's office, if it's a civil rights violation, whatever needs to be. Right now, it's not a police matter. We do not have the authority to do that. So I'm giving you some suggestions for today.
I'm very confused. I want to understand concisely what you're telling me. It's not a police matter. It's not your
Sir.
authority to arrest people who break the law.
Sir, that's not what I said. Sir, that's not exactly
That's
what I
exactly
said.
why I'm asking the question.
That's not what I said.
Well, then what did you
I
say?
told you there's a few things that you need to do, and then it would be up to the district attorney's office to decide whether they were going to issue a warrant, or the U.S. Attorney's Office if it's a civil rights violation.
That's correct, and I've
then it
already
would
been
be
through
up-
that.
if there was
I've already been
paperwork-
through that. The
excuse me,
DA
sir.
wouldn't do that.
Well, maybe you didn't have all the right paperwork.
No, I did have the right paperwork. The sheriff even said that.
Okay, then sorry, I'm sorry
Of
that
course
you're
I might have
dead
did,
end.
and isn't that what I'm proving, that it's rigged to
That's fine, sir,
fail?
but here's the thing, I'm gonna go inside now, I've given you my
Then
suggestions,
it's above
sir,
us
okay?
then it's,
It's
we
above
can't
us.
do
I'm
anything.
here willing to help you and give you the suggestions.
No, and I
Either
appreciate
take my
that.
advice, sir,
I will
or
take
you
your
don't.
advice.
But
And
right
when
now,
it
I need to
fails,
go
I'll come
back-
back to prove to you that it's set up to fail.
fine, but
Which
you
is what I've
follow-
done so far, correct or incorrect?
Just continue to follow the direction
Naturally.
that we're giving you. Thank you.
Naturally. And then when it totally fails, what will have been done for me, the citizen who hasn't broken the law? Thank you for your acknowledgement.
Don't forget your keys.
Have a good day.